Hi, my name's Sharisse Eberlein. I'm a photographer based here in the South Wairarapa. I work in the areas of weddings, portraits, newborns, families, commercial work, and I have a great love of astrophotography as well, which I like to incorporate into my wedding and commercial work. So that's me. So the guys at the Wairarapa Dark Sky Society have asked me to give you a few tips and tricks for their upcoming backyard astrophotography competition. So I think this is such an exciting concept actually. Yeah, it sounds great. A lot of us, we're all staying home at the moment, staying safe, and a lot of us have got a bit of extra time on our hands as well. So what a great opportunity to maybe learn a new skill. If you've been meaning to learn how to use your camera properly for a while, now's a great chance. And pop outside and photograph what's right above us, right there in our backyard. How cool's that? We're very lucky here with our dark skies in the Wairarapa, so yeah, what a great idea. The other thing I love about it being a backyard astrophotography competition is I think sometimes when you've got limits on where you can go and what you can photograph, it actually makes you think outside of the box a wee bit more and be more creative. So I think sometimes it can actually be a really good thing to have those limits in place to really push that creativity actually and come up with something new and different. So yeah, that's pretty exciting too. So you might have seen a few days ago that there was a picture posted promoting the astrophotography competition, and that was actually one of my photographs that was taken in my back garden. That was actually my studio at the bottom of my garden. I live on the edge of town in Featherston, so we do have street lamps where we are, but you can still capture stuff from in town as well, so you don't have to drive out to these remote locations somewhere really dark. You can actually do it on the edge of town as well. So, or depending on where you live, just have a go and see what you can get. So I'm going to start with my tips and tricks. So first of all, the biggest one I would say is if you don't already know how to use your camera in manual settings, then I would suggest get them to learn how to use your camera manually. So I'm just aiming this at beginners actually. So maybe just grab your manual out and have a good read. Learn how to make sure you know how to change the aperture, how to change the shutter speed, and how to change the ISO, because it's those three things that work together to enable us to capture as much of the light that we can. Obviously at night time there's not a lot of light around, so you've really got to push your camera to the limits to capture everything that you can to get those amazing Milky Way photographs. So generally when I'm just starting out taking a few pictures, I'll put the ISO on 3200. Open the aperture right up to say like 2.8 and then start with a 30-second exposure and then adjust from there really. So that's sort of where generally I'd start with, and see what you get. The other big tip I've got is obviously you need a stable surface for your camera when you've got when you've got your shutter open for a long time, because otherwise you're going to get camera shake. So if you've got a tripod, then that's fantastic. That will do the job. Otherwise, if you've got a sturdy table in your backyard, something like that, pop your camera on there, and that will give you a nice solid surface for your camera. And the other issue as well, of course, is when you press your shutter, is getting vibrations through your camera from that as well. So if you don't have a cable release, or if you don't have the facilities to set your shutter off remotely, then a self-timer mode will do the trick as well. So pop your camera on the self-timer mode, give yourself a few seconds, and then press the shutter and you walk away and your camera will go off a few seconds later, and then that will also do the trick. So those are my top tips for the moment to get you started. The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is actually the time of the month to take photographs as well. Ideally we want to take them around new moon, when there's no moon out, because that enables us to capture the Milky Way much better. When it's full moon, it's a bit harder to get the contrast and clarity out of the Milky Way. But having said that, we've just gone past new moon, so that was last week. But it doesn't mean you still can't take pictures. It's just a matter of looking at when the moon rises and when it sets, and just heading out when the moon isn't up. So it might mean getting up at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning, but that's all part of the fun. So yeah, that's all part of it. But I'll be giving you tips and tricks as to when might be a good time to head out anyway. If you're worried that we've just gone past new moon, it was cloudy and wet anyway, so wouldn't have been able to capture much anyway. So yeah, so I'll just give you a few tips going forward of when might be a good time to head out. So that's all from me for the moment, but I'm really looking forward to what people come up with actually, and seeing all these creative ideas from your back garden.